Shakespeare once asked, "What is in a name?" But when it comes to boats, there's actually a whole lot in a name. The Mayflower, Queen Anne's Revenge, Steamboat Willie. The names we choose for our vessels come to define them in our memories and in our imaginations. It's not an act to be taken lightly. Hey cruiser, welcome to a very special edition of Cruising Chris Craft. I am Josh Wells, and today is the big day. Today we are finally christening Stargazer. Like and subscribe below to keep up with the next stages of our journey. They say that the name of every ship on the sea are recorded in the Ledger of the Deep, Poseidon's little black book. To successfully change a boat's name like we're going to, you have to purge the previous name from the ledgers entirely if you want to avoid Poseidon's wrath. That means every single mention of the old name has to be removed from the boat, including every time it's written in the captain's log. So stock up on some whiteout. We really wanted to get this right, so we did a lot of research. One big decision we had to make was which christening tradition we wanted to follow. Christening and launching traditions have varied across time and culture. The Babylonians made sacrifices to appease the gods of the sea, as did the Vikings thousands of years later. There's a Japanese tradition that includes a silver axe, forged specifically for this occasion, which is used to cut the lines holding the ship above the water. The captain even gets to keep the axe afterwards. Well, probably in case he gets attacked by werewolves on jet skis or something like that. It's in the Greek tradition where we begin seeing similarities to the christenings of today. In the hopes of gaining divine protection for their voyage, ancient Greek ships were often named of gods or heroes. Most vessels carried a small shrine to the sea god, and before a new vessel was launched, the sailors drank wine together and poured some out for Poseidon himself. The standing cup ceremony was popular during the 17th century. The standing cup was decorated silver chalice which was filled with wine. Admittedly, we thought about doing this one for a little while, but we only had solo cups. The person conducting the ceremony, for example, the Prince of Wales, who personally christened the Prince Royal in 1610, began by taking a drink from the cup. Then they spilled it all over the deck, and then they threw the chalice overboard. Eventually, this ceremony fell out of fashion because it turns out throwing silver chalices into the ocean gets really expensive really fast. Who would have figured that out? By the end of the 17th century, the standing cup was replaced by a bottle of wine.
This is cheap. This is cheap. I'm pretty sure it's free in any bar. Or at the Bachelor.
And eventually champagne, because it was considered the aristocrat's wine by French society. We have our ceremony. We have our bubbly. All we can do now is wait. We invited a bunch of friends over to the marina to celebrate and toast with us. And we spared no expense. Seriously, guys, Poseidon is not a cheap date. When that dude sits down and opens up the champagne menu, you know you're shelling out big clams. And he'll know if you don't. We're not going to show you the whole ceremony, mostly because you'd just be watching Nikki and I read grand speeches for 15 minutes.
We implore you to grant this worthy vessel, Stargazer, the benefits and pleasures of your bounty, ensuring us of your gentle ministration according to our needs. Captain, please port to the north.
There's a reason we spend our weekends fixing the boat instead of performing Shakespeare in the Park. I'll just leave it at that.
Nor any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be some other name. What's in a name? That which we call a rose would smell as sweet, so Romeo would, were he not Romeo called.
The ceremony is made up of two parts. First, the denaming, to fully remove the former name from Poseidon's speed dial. Then, a proper christening ceremony. When you think of a christening ceremony, you probably picture someone breaking a bottle over the hull of a ship.
I christen thee the Flying Wasp.
But I'll tell you something, a fish hates broken glass just as much as a boat hates damaged gel coat. Look at me, pouring perfectly good champagne into the sea like that. The things we do for boats we love. Am I right? May God bless her and all that sails on her.
The Stargazer. Stargazer.
We are proud to introduce you to Stargazer.
To Stargazer.
To Stargazer. Thanks again for joining us today, Cruiser. We love you. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below to keep up with our adventures aboard Stargazer. Until next time, I'm Josh Wells, and remember, Norwegian boats have a barcode on them so they can just Scandinavian. Okay, Cruiser, see you next time. We love you. Be safe, and don't forget to like and subscribe down below.